Hello friends, welcome back to the Visual Builder Cloud Service Training Program. So this video is part of lesson 2 and here we are going to cover the create relationship between business objects, how to create relationship between different objects. For example, if you have one business object like employee and if you wanted to create another object like address, how you can make a relationship between both the objects to make a primary foreign key relationship. How to import and export data into the business objects. Then we will see the parent-child relationship on a web page. For example, if we have two objects, one is employee and another is address. And address is having the address of a particular of a users, right? A single employee, one employee can have multiple addresses. So we will maintain employee in the employee object and the address we will maintain into the address object. And then on a page, we will show the employee details along with their addresses. So based on the selection of an employee, I wanted to show the address associated with that particular user. So this I will show as part of this particular video. And then how to change default page of an application. By default, whenever we create a web application, the default page will be the main start. Whenever you will run your application, the main start page will get open. If you wanted to change that behavior, how you can do this. So we will see all these things in this particular video. So now let me just switch back to the visual application. So here I am going to extend my same application which I have created in my previous video. So click on this employee application and here switch back to the business object. Now I am going to create another object called address object and then click on a create button. Once you click on a create button, again you have to create certain fields. I will create certain fields here. Address 1 and then it can be a type, a string. Then you can create another address 2. I will create city. I will create state field and then I will create country field. Okay. Now I will create a field which is called employee ID, which will have the foreign key and will associate with the primary key of my employee object. So for that, I will say employee. Okay. Sorry. I have just, I will say employee ID. And then here there is a data type called reference. Once you click on this, here you see the different option reference business object and the display fields. And from here you will select the employee object, the reference business object, and then from here I will select my employee ID, which is the primary key. Okay, so this is how you can create parent-child relationship. So this will become the foreign key and this is the primary key. Click on a create. Okay, now go to the data section. Here click on a add row. So I can add a row. I will say 3, 4, 5, object 2, 3. I will say street number 4 and then I will say city will be Shadra, the country will be India, and then here you see this is my foreign key and it will show you the drop down of each and every employee. So here I will say 1 and then I can say state Delhi. Okay, now you can keep adding more rows. Okay, now I wanted to export that data. So here you can just click on this export icon and the data will be opened in your CSV file. Export it. And if you open this CSV file, let me just open that CSV file. Here you see the data has been imported. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete all these columns, and then I will put data here. So I'll just copy this again, and then we'll make different row. Okay. And now what I will do is I'll just make it 234 to 2. Okay, I'll say street 5. I'll change the city here. And then country will be Delhi, and then ID will be 1. Then again I can change the address 457 this 12, and then I can change the street 5, and then again I can say Bihari Colony. I will refer this employee to. So let me just change all the data quickly. So here what I have done, I have just edited the address, okay, and I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries, and all address are associated with different employees. Now let me just go back and then import the file. Import. So here you see there are two options. One is to append the data, and the second is to replace the data. So here what I'm saying is I'm going to replace all the data. So upload a zip file or drag one here. So I just click on this and I will address.csv and then import. Here you see the data has been imported successfully, and then close. Here you can see the data has been imported successfully with the help of CSV. Okay, now my business object is ready, which is referring to my employee object. Now again, go back and go to your application, and here I'm going to create a new page. So just click on the plus button, and here I will say parent child, and then click on a create button. Okay, here what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a heading here. Let the page to be loaded. Here I will say heading section, and I can say employee information. Okay, then similarly I will put the table component. I will associate this table with my employee object, and then next, and here I will put first name, I will put last name, and then department, and then email address, and then gender, and then next, and then simply finish. Okay, and it will load the employees information. I again put another heading just below this table, and here I will say address information. Okay, now I will put another table just below this heading. Okay, now I will associate this table with my address object. Again, click on this quick start and then add data. I will select the address object and then click on the next. Here I will say address 1, address 2, city, and then state, and then country. Okay, and then click on the next button. Once you click on the next button, here initially I don't want my address table to be populated. So this table should be populated only on the selection of employee. So what I do, I will just make a filter criteria. Just click on this, and here click to add condition. So here I will say if my ID, right, that ID, this ID equals to -1. Okay, then finish. Now here you see my address information has not been populated, but employee information is there. Now just switch to the live mode, and here you see nothing is populated. Now, what I will do, I will make a event on a row selection, and then we'll populate that address information. For that, just select this table, the employee information table, and then click on events. Here you see the button called new event, and once you click on this, there are some different events like first selected row, selected OJ before row edit, and then OJ before row edit end. So I will use this first selected row. Once you click on it, you will be landed onto the event chain. Okay. And now here you see there will be two input parameters, row data and then row key. So row key will hold the information of primary key of that particular table. So primary key will be the ID. Now here, this is the component which you can use on this action chain. So there's a one component called assign variable. So just drag and drop on this action chain. Now just click on this and then click on assign variable. So here what I am going to do, I am just expand this, and here just click on this. So what I have done is, let me just reopen it again. So this is my address list SGP, which is associated with my address table. Okay. Now I wanted to make a filter criteria over here. Just expand this and then click to add condition. So here from here I will search my attribute, which is my employee ID, and then I will say equals. So here you see the left hand side you have that row key. So which will be under chain variables and then row key. So here what you need to do, you need to use this chain dot variables and then row key. Okay, now if you click on the code, here you will see this code will be generated like chain dot variables dot row key. So this row key will hold the primary key of this particular table. So whatever row you will select, the row key will hold that particular ID of that particular row. Now go back to the builder. Now here you see, if you go to the builder, this is the condition. Now just save. Okay. Now go back to the designer page. That's it. Now you just need to preview your page. This page will not be open. It is because my default page is main start. So whenever you run your application, your main start page will be opened because it is set as a default page. Now you need to change that default page. So for this, just expand this web application and then click on the main flow. And from here, click on the settings section, and here you see the default page option is there, from where you can change the default page, and you can say main parent child. And this is auto saved, you don't require to save it, and then just click on the run. Let the page to be loaded. So here you see the employee information and then address information. So address information is blank. Whenever you will select any one of the employee detail, the associated address will be visible over here. Just click on Amit. Here you see there are two address associated with the Amit and has been populated. You click on Andrew. Here you see Andrew has only single address. If you click on Chavi Sarma, here you see only single address is associated with Chavi, and then again Ankit will have two addresses. So this is how you can create parent-child relationship in the visual application. So that's all for this particular video. Let's meet in the next video. Bye bye. Have a good day.